Morning everybody. I'm making an early morning video before I teach a yoga class just to prepare you for the week, and with the energies coming through as Archangel Gabriel has been preparing me for this message since Saturday already. So it's a very important message this week. I drew some cards from my Ask the Archangel card deck, which is available if you want to order. The first card is Archangel Valadriel for balance. The second card is Kundriel, which is night, which I'll explain just now. And Archangel Asmodel for flexibility. Now, this is the first week of October, from October 5 to 11. And what we need to understand at this stage is that we are going through an intense time of change. But it's very important that we don't try and force the change. Yes, we are focused on ourselves. We've gone through lockdown and everything with this crisis to do with the COVID-19 to regain who we are, to understand who we are on a deeper level, to understand what we need and how to invite joy, and how to also redefine everything to have a new understanding of it, so that we don't just survive and believe in suffering, but that we start believing in compassion and love and retrain our minds to live in joy and peace and harmony. So now what is important this week is that to allow the change, and we do feel a sense of fear because we know change is happening. We also do feel a sense of fear that we know change needs to happen, and that we think we should force it, or that we need to make certain decisions to create that change. So what Archangel Gabriel wants you to know is that it's not needed to force the change or create the change, but to allow the change. So a very important prayer that the angels have been sharing with me for more than a year now, and especially at this time, is to be shown who I am within this world, to understand myself as a soul in how I showed up in this town, in this country, and in what I want to live and create. Not to force it, not to think I know the way and try and create it, but to be shown. So I want you to relax about the changes that need to happen, and just allow yourself to find a deeper understanding still of who you are in this world, and to ask the angels to show you, to allow it to be mirrored to you by the people around you. And remember, the people around you are still also there to show you what you want and what you don't want. What are you going to contribute to in the world still, and what are you not going to contribute to? Are you going to talk with others about fear and about what is wrong in the world, or are you going to go into a deeper understanding of what is going on and start living the opposite energy to bring the balance, to live in trust and hope and believe instead of the fears of what is going on? For hundreds and hundreds of years upon this earth, we've gone into the fears. It is really time for a change. So in this week with Valadriel about balance that we've spoken about just now, finding the balance between the fear, what we create, what we don't create, very important, and not according to what's needed on the planet, but what you need, because what you need is also what's needed on the planet, and that's peace and compassion and love. And then Kundriel, the nighttime, is still, we did this a couple of weeks ago as well. Nighttime is where you go into reflection, you go into a deep sleep to retreat from the world and just to relax into what your subconscious is showing you about your truths, about your understanding of yourself. And then Ashmodel, the flexibility, is all about allowing the change to happen to you, not to try and force the change, but to be flexible, to flow with the changes happening on earth right now. Everybody has been complaining that nothing is working, and now that things are changing, they are complaining that things are changing. So just see where you are and where you stand and what you project into the world as to whether it's helping or not. What the angels have explained to me deeply over this weekend is that we are in a space where we need to help the consciousness change. I've spoken about this a lot, and it's all about personal choice. Remember, we can complain about the other people destroying the world, how they treat animals, and everything that's wrong in the world. But if you live unconsciously, if you still contribute to the suffering of animals in any way and just close yourself up to, oh, but I just buy the meat in the shop, so I don't care. It's not my problem. Well, actually, it is. We can't move to a space of complete compassion if we do not take responsibility for what we do, how we act. And the thing about animals is just an example because there's so many levels as to how we react in the world and how we need to reflect on how we need to change that in order to also have a compassionate understanding for ourselves and why we react in that way and why we think we need to react in that way. So it's all about taking responsibility for the self right now. Last night, just before I fell asleep, I had a very deep past life experience of me as a priest being locked into a cell for 20 years. And within this cell, I found utmost peace, just in the sun shining through the bars, onto the floor, onto the sand that was inside. And I just felt this complete experience of myself as a soul without the outside world, without being able to project myself into the outside world, and just taking responsibility for me and for every day that I was alive. And it was such a profound experience. You would have seen that we have a lot of reflections on past lives and reflections back to our childhood and the past within this lifetime. And it's all to have a deeper understanding of ourselves as a soul, choosing to be here right now. Allow it to guide you, allow it to help you to reflect on what you need to be right now, not for the world, but for yourself, so that the compassion that you gain for yourself and what you create in this world is reflected out and helps rewrite the consciousness. This is the only way that we can take humanity to the next level. And so many people tell me, oh, I don't want to reincarnate again. I don't want to come back. But we are going to come back if we don't do it properly in this lifetime. If you can't take responsibility right now for every little action, every thought, every feeling, you're not helping humanity to go to the next level. But the good news is that we are able to do it right now, that everything on earth is supporting us to do this. And this is the only way to support yourself and your soul in its own expansion and advancement, not only on earth, but in the worlds afterwards. Take good care of yourself and don't judge yourself because that's not in line with compassion. Just be aware of when you go down that rabbit hole of worry and fear and the belief in suffering and also into the anger. The anger is still a bit prevalent this week, and that's why I'm going to do a yoga set this morning to help release inner anger. So it would be a good idea to maybe Google something like that as well for yourself and try a bit of the exercises just to help you release those emotions, because we feel so much anger towards what's wrong in the world, but it can only be changed if you take responsibility for that which you contribute to that is wrong in the world. So I send you lots of love and blessings, and I hope that you gain lots of wisdom and understanding this week. I'll see you again next week. And remember, my previous video that I put on YouTube yesterday is a meditation with Archangel Gabriel to help you to release the things of the past and the anger and the pain that is very much stuck in the world right now and in yourself. And remember, it's not about changing your job right now. It's not about changing your relationship right now. But it's in trusting that what needs to end will end if you allow it and open up to joy and peace. and you will be guided towards that in whichever way your soul chose to experience it. Lots of love. Bye.